Bill!
Mr. Salloway.
Bill, you look marvelous.
I must have been daydreaming at first. I didn't even recognize you.
Well, I hardly recognize myself these days, what with this.
Well, Dad wrote and said you weren't feeling well. I told him you were probably faking.
And you were right. I'm fine, Bill. Sort of little half speed, but fine. You know, watching you come in, I flashed back to that summer at the lake.
The summer you taught Stu and I the fine art of riding a swamp canoe.
Well, I had to. You and that boy of mine.
How is Stu? Last time I heard he was in Chicago, making big deals, parlaying, making quite a success of himself.
Well, he's changed jobs again, moved on.
Well, on the phone, you said you had a surprise for me. What brought you out here?
Yes, well, take a look.
I don't believe it.
He's just little old me.
Hey, take that.
Jab.
Still fancy with a fist, aren't you?
Hey, you look great in green.
Hey, where did you get that uniform?
Oh, this is a little thing my tailor whipped up for me at basic training in San Diego. By the way, I just finished ITR here at Pendleton.
Well, why didn't you call me?
Because he wouldn't let me. He wanted to wait till we met.
I've always looked on you as a second son, Bill. That gives me special rights. Stewart here's been assigned.
Where? You'll never believe it. Private James Stewart Salloway reporting as ordered, sir. Bravo Company, 5th Marines. I told you wouldn't believe it.
How about this, Bill? You two together again.
Listen, don't let him shake you up, because he figures I'll be in your platoon.
Well, since you're both in the same company, it'd be a perfectly normal thing for Bill to ask for you.
Well, lieutenants don't pick their privates, Dad. They're assigned by the company commander.
Well, there's no reason you can't ask for him, is there, Bill?
Well, sir.
Well, Dad, there's sort of a policy in the Marine Corps that, well, officers and enlisted men who are old friends are just not assigned to the same outfit.
Now, listen, son, I'm sure that policy is nothing more than a guideline. What would be a problem for most people needn't necessarily be a problem for someone like you two. Right, Bill?
Well, no, sir.
Please, let me be a little selfish. I'd rest a lot easier, Stu, knowing that Bill was looking after you, giving you that old shove in the right direction. Why, you two have been friends practically since you were born, all through Clary High. And Corps or no Corps, that's the way it is. There's no actual order saying you can't ask for him, is there, Bill?
Well, no, sir, there's not. But...
Bill, please.
I'll talk to Captain Rambridge first thing in the morning.
How the new men look to you, Clintock?
Like always, sir, but we'll fix that.
This kind of work gets a little warm. You sure you got that flu bug kick?
No problem, sir.
I don't want you out here unless you're up to par.
I'm all right, sir.
Walks it, talks it, has a gold bar. Warden, parole officer, and our new den mother. All rolled in one.
Lieutenant Rice. William T. Rice.
Yeah, I know. What do you mean you know? You never saw him before. And what do you think I'm doing here?
You were assigned just like the rest of us.
Oh, no, not me. I picked my spot.
At ease, Big Mouse. Watch what's going on. You might learn something. You people are next. Move them up, Keggy. All right, let's go.
Morning, Captain.
Morning, Sergeant. How are the new men taking to the flame, Lieutenant?
Cautiously, sir.
That pays. Right, Clinic?
Fire lady's been good to me, sir. Got me my first stripe.
All right, listen up. Now brace yourself. Just like this, so the air pressure won't knock you off balance. Then you light your match.
Watch it! Hey, get Keggy! You let that napalm go?
Looks like heat exhaustion. Give us some shade.
He'll be all right. When they don't perspire, you get trouble.
What's your name, Private?
Soloway, sir.
All right, take charge here, Rice.
Yes, sir. Sergeant, give us some room.
All right, you people, nobody sounded liberty calls. Squad leaders, take them back.
Somebody help me get him to the ambulance.
Come on in.
The lieutenant wanted to see me?
At ease, Private Soloway. Hey, buddy, pretty sharp conduct out there today.
Careful now, Lieutenant. Don't overcompliment the humble private.
Don't you make it hard on the humble lieutenant either. Duty hours, duty hours.
Sure. Oh, that wink that I gave you out in the range, that wasn't the thing to do either, huh?
First day in camp, I guess you wanted to be certain I recognized you.
I wasn't sure you did. Boy, do you play old poker face out there. You got the system down to a T.
Until somebody comes up with a way that's better, what do you say we stick to these rules?
Sure. Bill, there is a favor I'd like to ask.
Oh.
Well, it's Dad. He had a very bad night last night. I'm worried about him.
Stu, that's the reason I wanted to talk to you. What's the story in your father?
He had a stroke. My guess is he only has a few months left.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Does he know about it?
Fool the old man? You know better than that. Sure he knows. As a matter of fact, I think that's why he's here for a few extra weeks. I think he thinks it's the last time we're gonna be together.
Look, Stu, you want to be excused from the night problem?
Well, Bill, I would like to see Dad. But look, I wouldn't be hurt if you had to say no, if it started looking like you were playing favorites. Bill, I don't want to trade on our friendship. I used to do that. Back in Clara, you remember?
I kind of like to think we've both grown up since then. Your father's sick. I'd let off any man for the same reason. Oh, and Stu, give him my best, huh?
Thanks, Bill.
Let's go. Formation in 5 minutes. Put some hustle in it.
Where do you think you're going, Kiki?
Where I'm supposed to go. Formation.
Tell me something, Kiki. If Barducci over there was sick, would you send him out on a field maneuver tonight?
I guess not.
Then what makes you think I'd play it any different with you? Wash your face and hit the sack. Formation, 3 minutes. Pass the lead out. Let's go.
Well, Corporal, it looks like we both lucked out. Congratulations, men. You are now a two-man fire team.
Where'd you get that Liberty card?
Like the man says, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
How does he rate?
Hey, I hear it's going to be a real grinder out there tonight. And beside which, I make it a point never to work nights.
You're gonna get corporal poison real bad. That's not a threat. That's a promise.
Oh? Well, now, I don't know how much time you've had for reading, but you should browse through the regs because it states very clearly that non-coms are supposed to keep their distance. Physically, that is.
He wasn't kidding about having an inside track with the lieutenant.
Knock it off.
Oh, no. I'll take anything they dish out, except a short end.
Well, are you sure, Dad? Because if you're not, I can get out of it. Well, Dad, it's just a night exercise. Okay, Dad, but look, promise me one thing, will you? Hit the sack early tonight. Okay. What? Oh, Dad, you see him at the PX. I came down to buy a toothbrush, and it was sort of noisy down here. Look, I have to get back to the barracks, okay? Oh, Bill sends his very best wishes. I will. Yeah. Yeah, all right, Dad. Right. Do it again, will you?
That's 3 you owe me.
Well, you just go ahead and start a tab because I'll be here regular.
That takes a word with the boss.
I will speak to him.
Her. Customer wants to start a tab, Lily.
Well, boss lady, you would make one fine company commander. I think the troops would follow you anywhere.
You want credit or conversation?
Well, how about a little charity? I'll take anything you have to give.
Why'd you come back Christmas? I give out finger paint kits to the ones your age.
No, not me. I collect dolls.
You'll change when you start to shave. You want to step in the office? Okay.
Save your strength, fella. 100 guys struck out before you.
You'll do that better, too, when you start to shave.
Well, you do that just the way you should.
All right, Marine.
Marine? Now, what makes you think I'm one of those guys, huh?
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm in investments. Well, you see, I just sold my business in Chicago about, a few months ago. I was in buying and selling. Well, then I came out here to the coast, the land of opportunity. Well, since then, I've just been looking around.
What have you found?
Opportunity.
Real estate? Manufacturing?
Oh, yes, all of those things.
Mm-hmm. You're a private in the United States Marine Corps stationed here at Pendleton. Probably in the 5th Marines, right out of ITR. The only real estate you've got's a piece of a Quonset hut. And the only thing you seem to manufacture is talk. And I brought you in here because I thought I'd save you the embarrassment of telling you out there. No credit. This is officer's country.
And that old officer and gentleman hook, that means that you can give credit and you don't have to ever worry about being stuck with a tab, huh? Well, that's pretty sharp business.
It works.
Well, may I buy a drink for a lady who...
On credit, of course.
Well, of course. I've already got you stuck for 3 drinks.
Give the man a drink.
Hold it!
Eddie, smoke if you wish. All right, everybody up. Come on, boys. Up we go. Oh, good morning, Corporal. Hope you feel better this morning.
I'll take your Liberty Guard. You've been AWOL since 0530.
Well, don't sweat it. I'll make formation on time.
Now, you sweat, Private. Your Liberty Guard. Pick it up. Disobeying a non-commissioned officer is violation of Article 91. Could get you up to 6 months in the brig and a bad conduct discharge. I wish you hadn't picked it up.
Come in.
Sir?
What is it, Corporal?
Private Salloway just came aboard. Here's his Liberty Guard.
I'll talk to him, Corporal. Private Salloway spent the night with his father. He's seriously ill. I'm sure he wasn't aware of the time.
Aye, aye, sir.
Platoon sergeant up. Radio. Bravo 3 Alpha, this is Bravo 3. Over.
Let me have it. Bravo 3, this is Bravo 3 Alpha. Over.
3 Alpha, hold up the point. Over.
Roger.
Sergeant, you notice here at the crossing and up the dry stream bed?
Yes, sir.
Well, in either place, Harris's aggression forces will catch us pulled in tight like this.
Yes, sir.
3 Alpha, I have a recon mission for you. Take your fire team to the crossings at coordinates 0589-2732. Then check out the stream bed at coordinates 1787-2700. You got those coordinates? Over.
Roger.
All right, 3 Alpha, move out. We'll hold up here. Out.
Hold one. Fire team, let's go.
Sergeant, get some flank security out.
Aye, aye, sir.
Come on, Salloway, snap it up. The heat's getting me, Corporal. I'm feeling rocky. You know, the way you felt in the range the other day.
Okay, Salloway, drop out. We'll pick you up on the way back. Stay close in case Harris's men move in.
All right, let's go.
What's the word? Any action here? A couple of robins ganged up on a blue jay. Then a little boy spider started chasing a little girl spider.
Stow it, Salloway. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Corporal. A little rest in the shade, maybe a new man again.
Let's move out.
All right, let's have it.
No sign of him, sir.
Sir, at the crossing, I know...
Private Salloway. The fire team leader makes a patrol report.
All right, Sergeant, as long as he includes the ambush at the crossing.
You said there wasn't anything there.
Oh, no, I said there wasn't any action in there, and there's not yet.
Well, go on, Private.
Well, sir, after the corporal left me at the crossing, I noticed that the aggressors were about 30 yards away in the trees and on the deck.
Sergeant, pass back the word to get them on their feet.
Get him up!
Get them up. Let's make it!
Get Salloway up here. This a spot?
Yes, sir. You see that tree? The big one? Well, there's one up there. There's one high up in the tree to the right. There's one on the deck directly beneath. And at least one more off to the right.
Okay, we'll form a skirmish line. Go back carefully.
Looks like we're betting 1,000 today, sir.
There we are, Private. I'll take charge of prisoner. You report on back to your fire team.
Yes, sir.
Don't stand there with your hands over your head, Lieutenant. You look like a ballerina.
But, Private Salloway gets around.
Yes, sir, he does. Sergeant, get back and get him moving.
All right, you people, form up. We're moving back.
But hiking's for Boy Scouts.
Why don't you ask your friend, the lieutenant, if you can ride?
Oh, funny. Just my knee. I hurt it when I fell. It's an old football injury.
Let's get him on his feet.
Okay, we'll try.
Hey, you can't make it back like this. Here comes the ride, sir. Somebody flag down our vehicle. Let's get him up top.
Oh, sir, look, I could try.
It's 6 miles back, Salloway. You'll ride. Get up. Let's get him moving, Sergeant.
Yes.
Here.
How's the football knee, Goldbrick?
What do you know? It's all right. Oh, yes, I can see it now. It was 4th down, 10 yards to go. Old Soloway drops back to punt. But does he punt? He does not. He takes that ball and tucks it under his arm and charges for the center of the line just like he weighed 250 pounds! When suddenly, Soloway becomes a phantom. He skips over the turf with a twist here and a twist there. Ah, but what about that corner man? What about that last red jersey between Soloway and that goal line? And who is that red jersey? He's All-State, that's who. Headed for Notre Dame.
Any changes?
No, sir. Sergeant Major told me I'd find you here. I wanted to talk to you.
Actually, that's about it, fellas. Tomorrow we'll be using 1st and 3rd squads only. You might check this against the terrain. Let me know if there's any questions. What is it, Sergeant?
Well, sir, I've given this quite some consideration. Looks like you're playing favorites, sir, with Soloway.
Now, hold on, Sergeant.
No disrespect intended, sir. I've seen him come and go. For 20 years I've seen him, but this Soloway is nothing but a goof-off. Worse than that is malingering.
The way I see it, Sergeant, Soloway has proven himself to be a pretty good Marine. At the flamethrower range, today he spotted the aggressors.
Discipline's a funny thing, sir. It works from the top down, but it starts from the bottom up.
What's that supposed to mean, Sergeant?
It means, sir, that there is no discipline. If the men feel that one of them, just one of them, is getting off easy.
The way I see it, Sergeant, it's your job to make the men understand no one gets off easy. On 2 occasions, Private Soloway was excused for 2 very legitimate reasons.
Just my opinion, sir, but if you're not playing favorites, and you think that Soloway's reasons are legitimate, you're being taken. Discipline breakdown can spread from one man through a whole platoon like an infection. The months it took to build up that teamwork can all be killed in just days. Sir.
Thank you very much, Sergeant. Nothing like a good steak, huh?
Oh, yeah, that was great, Dad. We don't get that kind of chow back at the mess hall.
You know, I'd like to hear more about those field maneuvers. I imagine Stu's still pretty green, huh?
He's doing fine. In fact, the captain complimented him twice already.
Modesty. Well, we're getting somewhere already. He never told me that. Well. No, nothing doing, Bill. This is my treat. Yep.
Dad, I think Bill and I will just finish our coffee, if you don't mind. We don't get much time to talk back at the base.
Sure, take your time. I thought I'd just go up and rest for a bit. See you later, Bill.
Good night, sir. I'll look in on you.
Good night, Sam.
I'll be up, Dad.
Leg seems better, huh?
Oh, yeah, well, you know, tricky knee pops in and out. Dad really enjoyed buying that meal for us.
Your father's a great guy, Stu.
Mm-hmm. We got a problem, huh?
Have we?
Well, it's our beloved gunny, Sergeant Clintock. He's out to get me, Bill.
If he is, Stu, it's not personal.
It's very personal. Now, you know how these gunnies are. They get a hold of a platoon and, well, they like to build their own little empire. Well, I can understand this because it's their whole world. But Clintock's jealous. Now, somehow and in some way, he found out that you and I were old buddies.
What are you driving at, Stu?
Bill, you know that the last thing that I would ever want to do would be to embarrass you or cause any trouble. Well, thanks to Clintock, that's just what's happening. Admit it. Bill, look, I've got a great idea. Now, they want volunteers over at Force Recon. Suppose I went over and applied. This way, I'd be out of your hair.
What about your father, Stu? He wanted me to keep you with me.
Well, I'll explain. It was my idea. What do you say?
I think it's a good idea.
Look, I'll need tomorrow off. You think you can spare me in that tank exercise, huh?
Well, I'll just have to. Who do you see over at Recon?
Major Garvey. Well, let's hope he takes me, huh? Oh, listen, when you get upstairs, tell Dad that I'll be up a little bit later, okay?
Good night, Stu.
All right, good night.
Lieutenant Rice, report to your company commander on the double.
Lieutenant, I have seen Chinese fire drills when there really was a fire. I have pulled liberty in Singapore when the British, the American, and the Italian fleets were in all at the same time. But never have I witnessed such confusion as I've just seen.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry. Well, you are correct, Lieutenant. Sorry and unacceptable. Now look to your men, and fast.
Sergeant Clinic?
Yes, sir.
Pass the word the men better get squared away. And before any liberty, we'll have a personnel and equipment inspection.
The men have been dragging in the track.
They've been
all day.
dragging all right, Sergeant. Inspection in 1 hour in the barracks. In utilities.
Aye, sir.
Oh, and Sergeant. No liberty for any man who doesn't shape up.
Aye, sir. Junk on the bunks, uniform utilities. 1 hour.
Dirty boy. And this man needs a shave, Sergeant. Sergeant, yesterday we had a little talk. Something was steaming you, so we dispensed with tact. Well, right now, mister, something's steaming me, and I may not be too tactful either.
Suits me fine, sir.
You saw what happened out there today. This platoon's a disgrace, and there's a reason for it.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps the men's physical condition is deficient, Sergeant. In your opinion, do you think the men are capable of today's requirements?
Yes, sir.
What about their mental condition? Do they know what abreast means?
Yes, sir.
And they know what a straight line is?
Yes, sir.
And you told them advance in line with the tank?
Yes, sir.
Well, it appears, Sergeant, as if you passed on all my instructions properly.
Yes, sir. Request to say something unofficially, sir.
Go right ahead.
I'm doing my job, sir. But I can't hold things together when it's looking like you're playing favorites.
You mean Salway?
Yes, I mean Salway, sir.
I let him off this afternoon for an interview with Force Recon. I'd do the same for any man.
Yes, I know you would. But I'll give you odds that Salway never reported to Force Recon.
All right, let's check it out. Force Recon? Lieutenant Rice, Sergeant Major. Did a Private James Stewart salary report for an interview with Major Garvey this afternoon. Major Garvey was interviewing Force Recon applicants today, wasn't he? Thank you.
Oh, Bill, come in, come in.
I hope I'm not disturbing you, Mr. Salloway.
Disturbing me? This is a real pleasure. I just finished talking to Stu, just now hung up the phone. Can I fix you a drink?
No, sir, no thanks.
Well, I understand you're really riding herd on those boys out there. Oh, sit down, sit down. Stu tells me you've canceled all liberties. Real tough guy, huh? Well, good for you. I don't mind telling you, a little of that is good for Stu. How's he getting along, anyway?
Mr. Salloway, I've been sitting downstairs in the lobby for over an hour, trying to figure out if I should even come up here.
Bill, I haven't got time for you to be gentle with me. You're worried about my condition. I'm worried about Stu. I've got to have it bluntly and honestly. He's not doing well at all, is he?
No, sir, he's not doing well at all.
No games between us, Bill. Lay it out straight.
Well, sir, it seems he's undermined my authority. He sought special treatment, lied to get it. Faked injury, made up a story about a transfer to Force Recon, created ill feeling among the men, disrupted the entire platoon. It's his attitude, Mr. Salloway. He's always trying to make things easier for himself, angling for the shortcut.
I'd hoped for better, but I'm not surprised.
A good part of it's my fault, too, sir. I should have seen it coming.
Oh, Bill. You know where the problem lies, right here. It's my fault.
You're not being fair to yourself, sir, not at all.
He was quite an operator, even in school. You saw that, so did I. I chose to ignore it. It looked harmless. Took the easy way out. Said this was a childish thing, he'd outgrow it.
Sir, the reason I came up here tonight...
Please, Bill, let me finish. You may have wondered why Stu joined the Corps. Now, I don't intend to tell you what happened to him in Chicago, but you may have smelled some of it. He was in a fair amount of trouble. Took $5,700 to get him out. Then we made a trade.
You paid the debt, he joined the Corps.
Exactly. That's why I was so pleased that he was in your platoon. You've grown up, Bill. You could show him the way.
Sir, that's why I came up here tonight. I know I have a responsibility to you to keep him in the platoon.
You've got to keep him. Stu's never finished anything he started. He's got to make it here. If the Marines can't help him, he'll never make it. This is his last chance.
Mr. Salloway, I've got a career of my own to think of, sir. Are you going to ask me to risk that?
Bill, it has to be you. For God's sake, help me, please.
Tom, guess I better secure.
Good night.
Good night, Lily.
Good night.
Flag, hoop, what heart feel. Rice, I'm outnumbered. How about it?
Sorry, I'm all tied up. But watch a tall one and dart, she'll murder you.
Well, you can't live forever.
You're gonna give the shop a bad reputation. That long expression.
Troubles.
I never would have guessed.
Lay off, Lily.
I bet you $1 I can guess it.
You're on.
Stu Salloway?
You win.
He's been in. He closed the place one night.
He's been in, huh?
He mentioned you a couple times.
Well, Stu and I have been friends for quite some time, Louie.
No friend like an old friend, I always say.
Yeah, I always say that, too.
You know, he's a talented young man. He's not accomplished, but he's talented.
You kind of liked him, huh?
Well, for a guy who can't walk on his own, I was his crutch for just one evening. How long is he gonna have you for one? Well, look who's here.
Had a little talk with my dad tonight, I hear.
That's right.
Yeah, he called me. Can we talk about this outside?
Oh, well, now wait. I have a marvelous idea. How about a nice, tall, cool drink? On credit, of course.
I have business with Mr. Lieutenant Rice. Do you mind?
Remember I warned you once about big girls? You may find big boys even rougher.
It's a little more private in back.
Well, you had to do it, didn't you? You had to run and cry to my old man.
I figure I have a responsibility to him, Stu.
Oh, you weren't thinking about responsibility or him. All you care about is that lousy platoon of yours. Well, the sergeant got to you, didn't he, huh? He swung you over to his side.
He didn't swing me, wise guy. You did. You're an opportunist, Stu, but you've about run out of opportunities and you're about to run out of friends.
Friends? What do you know about friends, you lousy two-bit general? What do? You go to a dying man and you upset him. Well, to me, that's about as rotten as a guy can get.
Yeah. The dying man. You've given so much thought.
I brought him out here, didn't I?
He brought himself out here. He brought himself out here to set you straight, but he belongs back in Clarion a bed.
Well, there's no one back there to take care of him.
Oh, the way you've done here? Like the other night with Lily? Ah, that's real care for old Dad, Stu.
Knock it off, Bill. I've done a lot for him.
You haven't done anything for him since you were 10 years old and you mowed the front lawn back home.
Knock it off, Bill. I'm warning you.
You'll use him, Stu. You'll use him to the last. You'll probably even use a funeral. It'll be a great way to get out of formation.
Why, you filthy!
Stu, don't be a fool. Hold still. Will you hold still?
Is it deep?
Well, it's deep enough. Here, I'll get the pressure point now. Here, you grab that end. All right, pull it. Right there.
Bill, look, I tried to be fair with you.
Shut up, you're a liar. Here, put your finger in the knot. A little advice to you, schoolboy. Don't you ever try to swing a Clintock, Kagi, or any of the others like that, because you're not half as fast as you think you are. All right, here. All right, come on your feet. Hey. Well, Big Stu, a little blood scared you like that? You've got a lot more growing up to do than I ever thought you had. Come on, kiddo. You're gonna need some stitches in that.
Come in. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Well, what is it?
It's about Private Salloway, sir.
Well, the injury, the doctor released him for duty. Won't interfere at all with his transfer to Force Recon.
I had no idea you put in for a transfer, sir.
First thing this morning. Can we talk later, Lieutenant? I'm due at battalion headquarters in 3 minutes.
Sir, it can wait.
Well, I better be good, Rice.
About that transfer, sir. I'd like you to tear it up.
And you care to explain why?
Well, you've always said, sir, you'd never transfer one of your problems to another man's outfit. Well, Salloway's one of mine. But I'd like the chance to solve that problem, sir. Not just kiss it off.
Now, by the looks of your platoon, Lieutenant, it appears that you have quite a few problems to solve. I would suggest that you get cracking.
Holloway.
Yo.
Heard about you bugging out, Holloway.
Yeah, that'll make your day, huh, Sergeant?
Glad you decided to do it now instead of in combat.
Carry on.
Have you heard the latest? I'm off to recon.
That's so.
Oh, yeah, those guys are great. They jump out of airplanes, go ashore from submarines. Bill, I called Dad on the telephone. I told him about how I lied to you, all of it.
How'd he take it, Stu?
He wasn't too surprised. He knows me pretty well, I guess. The transfer was his idea. Bill, there's no sense in rocking your boat. It's just time for me to move on, that's all.
Time for what?
Look, Recon's a glamour outfit. Now, Arnie and I are gonna get along just fine.
Arnie?
Yeah, Arnie, Major Garvey. Now, look, I can make out just great there. It's right down my alley. Besides, it's got a lot of flash, you know? They like guys who can think on their feet. You know, I'm a pretty good Marine, Bill.
You're a pretty bad Marine, Stu.
I could be good, and you know it, Bill.
That's right, you could be if you wanted to.
Formation, fall in on the double.
All right, Private Soloway, fall out.
Oh, now, look, Bill,
I tried, Private.
I tried to explain to you,
You'll get
Bill.
your transfer eventually. But for every formation you miss, I'll delay it a week.
Now, look,
And every time you're late for duty, another week. And every time you get out of line with a superior, still another week. Oh, and Private, stand up straight when I'm talking to you. I forgot to mention it. It just so happens Arnie's an old friend of mine. And I never send an old friend half-finished merchandise.
Squad leaders report.
I like New York in June. How about you? I like a Gershwin tune. How about you? I love a fireside when a storm is due. I like a big moonlight motives. How about you? I'm mad about good books. Can't get my fill. Venus de Milo's looks give me a thrill.
We were born 75 years too late.
A picture of my dear, sweet old grandmother.
Look, Stan, it's getting kind of late. One drink, I promise, okay?
Okay. Nice table over here, fellas. Next show goes on soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
lighter fluid, hun.
Oh, certainly, sir. I'll tell the other girl I'm going off now.
Thanks.
Bar the gate and bolt the door. Bellman's here. Who could ask for more? Tell me, baby, what is it you really like about me?
Your absence.
Hey, you're quick. Not like these other schmagaggies. Listen, my next show starts in about half an hour.
That wasn't a menu, it was a defense budget.
Hey, wait a minute, you guys. What about Old Dusty's? Never a minimum at Old Dusty's.
Why don't you guys take the car and go on in? I can catch a bus right here for San Clemente. Sheer devotion to duty. I've got to march a platoon up 20 miles of hills tomorrow. You don't.
It's touching. How can we let him go?
Go.
Do-si-do, and away we go. You sneak out of here every night like you're hiding something. What's this Cinderella bit, baby?
It's because my coachmen all turn into rats. Like you, Mr. Bellman. Oh, no! No!
All
Let
right,
me get
all right,
by.
let me help you.
Let
help you
go.
get
If
by.
I want to go, if I want your help,
Okay, come on, come on.
Not
Come on,
the
get
last time. Let me alone.
Will you listen to me?
Oh, no! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Are you okay?
Go away!
Ma'am, if there's anything I can do to help you,
Leave me alone!
Ma'am, maybe you
Just leave me alone!
You all right now, young lady?
I'm fine, thank you.
Miss Carol Waden, you live in La Jolla?
Yes?
School teacher.
Yes? Crescent Elementary. Also in La Jolla.
What were you doing in Oceanside, Miss Waden?
I went to the movie.
Oh, the one about 2 blocks down the next street?
Yes? I was walking back to the bus stop.
Maybe you ought to sit down.
No? I'm all right, thank you.
Any story on this, Mac?
No, he tried to pick her up. She put him down and they got a little physical.
William T. Rice, Lieutenant. You're a lieutenant.
That's right, sir. Camp Pendleton.
According to the arresting officers, you accosted this young lady.
I what?
You know what accosted means?
Sergeant, I was waiting for a bus. I heard her scream and... Just ask the young lady, she'll tell you. Some man was giving her a bad time in an alley. Miss, would you tell him what happened, please? That you and this man were talking and you started to argue?
That's not true.
witnesses that say you were loitering in the area.
Sergeant, a few of us came into town for the evening. I had to take my platoon out early in the morning, so I shoved off.
Do some drinking, Lieutenant?
Miss, will you straighten him out, please? Would you tell him it wasn't me?
It was very dark in the alley. It was awfully dark.
You were arguing, miss. I could hear you.
No, I was alone.
Sergeant, when he saw me, he ducked back into the club next door. I could describe him if you'd like. He was short. He was dark, rather stocky.
That's ridiculous. There wasn't anyone else there.
Miss, if you're trying to hide something, Sergeant, if there wasn't so many people here, maybe we could talk in private or something.
I certainly wouldn't talk to some man in a dark alley in a neighborhood like that.
Miss, what are you trying to do?
I'm not trying to do anything. It was a very unpleasant experience, and I just want to forget it.
Are you saying you want to ignore it, miss? No complaint?
Sergeant, I'm a teacher. My fourth-grade students think that I'm a very good teacher. But I won't be if I don't get home and get some sleep, now will I? I'm not pressing charges. Isn't that enough for you?
No, ma'am. It's not anything
If someone
close
will
to
please
enough
take
for
me to the bus.
If you change your mind about the complaint, Miss Whedon, you just call us. Lieutenant, you're off the hook. Take a little advice. Next time you want a date, phone the girl.
May I have my ID card, please? Thank you.
Day, another $1, less withholding.
Well, somebody's making more than $1.
What does that mean?
Well, those books came you ordered. They're in the faculty room.
Oh, really?
See, do you have a rich uncle?
Simpler than that, I just go without food.
Well, I hope you're not too weak. The ever-loving principal is looking for you.
Come in. Hello.
What in the world is that?
Water pistols. Strictly verboten. I have a drawer full of them. Actually, they come mostly from the 5th grade, because by the time they get to the 6th grade, they're too sophisticated, and the younger ones stick to rubber bands. But some, I suspect, have a do-it-yourself atom bomb project going in the cloakroom.
I had a call this morning. Sergeant Decker, Oceanside Police. Said he was just checking out your address and occupation for the follow-up report.
He told you what happened.
Must have been very embarrassing.
Well, I suppose as long as no one else mentions it, it'll be all right.
I understand there's a small item in the newspapers. I'm sorry. But it's bound to be seen.
I really don't see that it's any of the school's concern. I haven't done anything to be ashamed of.
We teach children. That makes whatever happens to us or around us important.
Keep the old halo on straight. Never lose it.
What I don't want to lose is a promising teacher. Carol, I have no intention of losing you. You have that spark, that gift, that, or whatever it is. You know how to excite the student's imagination so he takes off like a rocket. What I don't want is for others to take off against you.
Everyone is created equal. Everyone but us. We're not supposed to feel like humans. We're not supposed to act like humans. We're allowed no feelings, no weaknesses, no mistakes. We can't even afford to be...
Suspect?
Yes, not even that.
It'll seem easier when you have tenure. How long before you complete probation? 3 months?
Yes. I'll be more careful.
Good.
So you have to shove off early to get ready for a 20-mile hike. Mm-hmm. Sure. You're a deep one, buddy. What is she, some kind of nut or something?
Crescent Elementary School.
Look, they don't say anything actually happened. Questioned. Released. It's a local paper. And of course, if anybody sees it, they wouldn't believe that you'd pull a thing like that. Besides, it was probably a quiet night. The reporter needed some space to fill.
Well, he filled it all right.
Come on, buddy. Don't take it so hard.
You know any other way?
Don't bark at me, Rice. They were only doing their job as I'm doing mine right now by sending for you.
Did they tell you about it, sir?
What they knew about it, yes.
Well, if you'd like an explanation, it's very simple. She lied.
Well, do you have any idea why she lied?
No, sir, I don't have any idea. Now, if the captain has some doubts about this...
If I had any doubts, Rice, you wouldn't last out the day in my outfit. Now, my interest here is that you have the common sense to let the matter drop right now. Well, I've already talked with the provost marshal and the base legal officer. Now, their advice is to forget it. She didn't sign a complaint. There'll be nothing on your record. There are relatively few people who know about this as the matter stands now.
But there might be some doubts in those minds, sir. Captain, we both know the Corps is small. I've heard senior officers talk about things that happened some 20 years ago and...
Reputation is important. And we'll back you in any fight to save it, but only if the fight makes sense.
I intend to find out why she lied, sir.
Oh, Jerry, did Nick tell you? You got a show in an hour.
He told me. What's he trying to do? He pulls a half a dozen people in out of the sunshine. Why doesn't he have a breakfast show, too? He'd pick up another 50 or 60 cents.
I got my own troubles.
Hey, Nick. Nick, I've been here 2 weeks. You still got that little picture out front. What kind of respect is that? Well, if it isn't Miss Goody Two-Shoes. Nick, I'm...
Sit down, Bellman. Miss Whedon here, our schoolmarm's had enough of her job, but as long as you're both here, I've got something to say to you.
So that's it. You're a school teacher. I gotta give you credit, baby. You're smart. I mean, if you got a moonlight to make it, working here a few hours with that figure, pulling in the tips...
Shut up. Now, this thing here in the paper says Miss Whedon was molested by some Marine last night. Happened right outside in the alley.
Oh, that's a shame, baby. You ought to be a little more choosy.
I told you to shut up. Now, the Marine claims he was chasing some other masher away. I've been warned about you, Billman. You've had woman trouble before.
You don't give me no trouble, Nick. None at all.
I'll give you some, Don Juan. I run a clean operation here. Civilian, servicemen, anybody. I don't intend to lose any customers either. Now, you get me any complaints. You hurt me in the pocketbook. I'll get the word to every nightclub I can reach.
All right, Nick, I get the message.
That's for you, Miss Whedon. Quit, don't quit, it's all the same to me. Just one thing, honey. I don't want any trouble from your direction either. Not from any school board or anybody else who's going to get upset because their little girl's been moonlighting here. Do you get me?
I get you, Mr. Martin.
The squad release for our platoon will be at the intersection of Dry Stream Bed and Fire Break. We'll advance at the rate of about 1 mile an hour and should arrive at this point about 0100 tomorrow night. The actual squad release will be at my command since the movement depends on the entire company. Now, order of march will be 3rd squad, 1st squad, 2nd squad. 1st squad will provide 2 men for contact with the platoon on our left. 2nd squad will provide 1 fire team for right flank security. 3rd squad will lead the column and provide the point. I'll be with 3rd squad. Any questions?
No questions? All right, children. Now, what's the name of this place?
Celestia!
And who were the people who came to California after gold was discovered here?
The 49ers!
Very good. And 300 years before that?
The conquistadors!
Wonderful. What can I do? You're so clever. Yes, the Spanish conquerors. Now, they came up from Mexico. You see, California was under Spanish influence until the discovery of gold brought so many Americans in from the East. Well, you were getting ahead of me anyhow. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about it then.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Miss Whedon? Miss Whedon, I have to talk to you.
You're striking out again, Lieutenant. Twice before. And this makes 3. Side retired.
Miss, you've had plenty of time to think about it. Would you call the Oceanside police and tell them
Tell them what?
the truth? That it wasn't me, that it was somebody else?
It's all over. I didn't press charges. Now, what more do you need?
Miss Whedon, it says here in the paper that I was picked up in questioning, that's all. People are gonna wonder about that, aren't they?
There's nothing like free publicity. They even spelled my name right.
Miss Whedon, I don't think you appreciate what this can mean. You see, I'm a career Marine.
Lieutenant, at least you have tenure. Your job is secure.
Miss Whedon, I'm trying to explain to you.
I was willing to forget it. Now, why aren't you?
Forget what? I didn't do anything.
If you stay, I'll have to explain you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't intend to be hurt myself.
Then why don't you tell the truth? At least maybe I can understand.
If you stay, I'll scream. Lieutenant, do you want me to scream? If you thought it was bad last night, how do you think it would look here? I'm not joking. Hello, Phyllis. Your car break down again? I'll give you a ride home. I take it they've all seen it.
Yes. Carol, was that him? Yes. He's not at all what I'd expected.
Really? What is a man like that supposed to look like?
Well, you can't ever tell about a man, but he's attractive.
So attractive for that. Maybe I even encouraged him. Is that it?
Easy, friend. I'm on your side, remember? Now, the question is, what are you going to do about it? If he's guilty,
What do you mean, if?
Oh, come on, Carol. Like anywhere else, we have plenty who'd say you encouraged the man. Swung your hips at him, let him on. You've got to protect yourself. You've got to sign a complaint.
Prosecute?
Beat them to the punch, Carol. If you don't, people will wonder. Think it over.
All right, at ease, Rice. You know the legal officer, Major Butler?
Yes, sir, I do. How are you, sir?
Just for openers, Lieutenant, I want you to understand, I'm presuming you're not guilty.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Can you tell us anything about the man you saw run from the alley that night? How would you describe him?
Well, sir, he was short, dark-haired. You see, actually, it was very dark, and when he rushed past me, sir, I couldn't quite...
Well, for someone who's trained to take in terrain, deployment, and situation at a glance, I'd say that was a pretty poor description.
I was focusing my attention on the screaming woman, sir.
So unless that man can be found, it's your word against hers. And she has the backing of the arresting officers. Plus any other witnesses that saw you drifting around.
I wasn't drifting around, sir. On the contrary, I was only...
You lose your temper that easily. You'll be a sitting duck when they start throwing questions at you. Now, that is the address of the city attorney's office at Oceanside. You're to be there tomorrow, no later than 1500 hours.
Hey, sir, this is one thing I just don't quite understand.
Major Butler received a call a half an hour ago from Mr. O'Leary, the assistant city attorney. Now, in accordance with our policy of cooperation with local civilian authorities, you are advised that a civilian complaint has been filed against you. You are charged with vagrancy.
Oh, excuse me, miss, if you've got a minute. I've been roaming around the neighborhood asking about a guy I ran into outside here the other night. He's about 5'9", stocky, kind of short hair. Well, anyway, that's about as close as I can remember. I thought he might possibly be a customer.
Look, that could describe 100 guys. Excuse me.
You know, you talk about doctors. There's a very ritzy street in this town that has nothing but psychiatrists. Sort of a mental block. I was in a doctor's waiting room there the other day. I bumped into a friend of mine. I said, Harry, you coming or going? He said, if I knew that, I wouldn't be here. And you talk about prices. All the doctors specialize nowadays. $25 for the heart, $25 for the lung, $25 for the liver. With onions, 50 cents extra. With onions, 50 cents extra. This the English-speaking crowd? Take that, you dirty witch. Last time I ever buy a joke from a waitress. Hello, sweetheart. Oh, seriously, folks, she just got back from working with the Peace Corps. She's working down in the South Pacific Islands. She came back with this fellow about 6'6". He had big brass earrings on his ears, had about 6 necklaces around his neck, he had a loincloth, he had bells on his wrists. She took him home to meet her mother. Mother took one look at this fellow and she said, I told you a rich doctor. You folks come here to worry? You know, a lot of comedians say, I don't have to do this for a living. With me, folks, this is it. As a matter of fact, my position is very shaky here. I went in to see the boss this afternoon, and I said, what goes? He said, you. Well, time to go now, folks. Please, please, it's too late. You give me a headache. I want to leave you like I found you. Moody.
Mr. Bellman?
Pardon me, sir. Are you in show business?
No.
Well, then would you get your foot off my stage?
I want to talk to you.
How about that, folks? I got a pocket full of ad-libs here, and he wants to match wits with me.
It's about you and a young lady.
Oh, yeah?
I want to talk to you.
Well, then why don't you say so? Second door to the left, right past the bar. You can't miss it. I like a guy who brushes after every meal, don't you?
Attaboy, Jerry! Mr. Bellman?
All right, what do you want? The bit got to laugh. You want to get paid?
Mr. Bellman, there's no audience here. There's just you and me.
All right, shove off, Sonny.
Mr. Bellman, there's no audience here. You know Miss Whedon and Miss Carol Whedon?
No.
Well, 2 nights ago, I was walking by in the alley. I heard a woman scream, and I went over to help her, and the police came and arrested me. I told them there was some other guy bothering her.
Smart. Smart. You keep using your head like that.
Mr. Bellman, I'm a lieutenant in the Marine Corps. If I don't straighten this thing out, well, maybe you don't know how they feel about their people being accused of something like this. Mr. Bellman, I think it was you.
Lieutenant. Kid, you flipped. I don't have to go around chasing dames. Just look out there. There's a lot of broads out there, and they're swingers. They're all swingers. Come back some other night. You'll take half of them off my hands, okay? You'll do me a favor.
You understand, Lieutenant, you're entitled to advice of counsel.
Well, yes, sir.
All this evidence indicates to me that you're guilty. If that's true, Lieutenant, I suggest you plead accordingly. Naturally, we'll take into account the fact that you're saving us time and costs.
There's only one trouble then, Mr. O'Leary. I'm not guilty. I was trying to help that woman.
And the trouble with that, Lieutenant, is nobody's likely to believe you. We have to go by the evidence, and all the evidence is pointing directly at you.
Well, yes, sir, that may be the case, but I think I know who that man was. In fact, I'm almost positive. I think his name was, Bellman, Jerry Bellman. He's a comic over at the 1890 Club.
You think? You're almost positive.
Well, sir, I can't be sure. I mean, it was dark. It was dark in the alley.
Well, have you talked to him?
Well, yes, sir, I talked to him. I tried to. He denied everything. Now, can't you bring him in or question him or do something to help me in a situation like this?
Well, what makes you think he won't deny it to me? No, Lieutenant. I wouldn't count on him as a friendly witness. I'll say one thing for you, Lieutenant. For a fellow who's got so much stacked against him, you certainly have a lot of friends. You can tell Major Butler I'll hold a pre-trial hearing. Understand? A discussion. We talk to the principals, the witnesses, review all the evidence. Sometimes these matters can be resolved without the expense of a trial.
What if it goes against me?
Well, nobody's bound. You can always insist on a trial. Of course, the complaining witness can also insist we continue to prosecute. Just for the record, Lieutenant, I don't believe you. So if you change your mind about your plea, give me a call.
Miss Whedon, I'm Captain Rambridge.
Who?
Lieutenant Rice's company commander. May I have a few words with you?
Words or pressure, Captain?
I'm on my own time. May I come in?
Please sit down.
Thank you. I'll come straight to the point, Miss Whedon. Lieutenant Rice is a good officer.
Captain, I'm honestly very sorry this happened. Until it all got into the newspapers, I was perfectly willing to let the whole thing drop. But now, I've got to protect myself.
So I understand. Are you aware, Miss Whedon, that Rice graduated from the Naval Academy?
No.
Well, the Academy does not graduate liars. They have a way of weeding them out.
Evidently, the Academy let one get by.
I see. I was hoping there was some mistake. You see, the Academy was 4 years for him, and another 9 months at Quantico. Now, that's a lot of time wasted if we yank his career out from under him. Not so sure you would understand that. A couple of years in junior college, and you have a teaching certificate.
And you don't know as much about it, Captain, as you think you do. Teaching credentials require just as much work as that, and possibly...
Oh, come now, Miss Whedon. I know quite a bit about teaching, or rather the lack of it in our schools today.
Oh, you're one of those. Evidently, you're as smug as you are uninformed, Captain.
Well, no offense intended, Miss Whedon. I'm sure you work very hard at your little job. You probably earn every cent you get.
Oh, you're so right, I earn every cent. I have a master's degree, Captain. Do you know how much that nets me? Or do you know how much any teacher gets? Less than day laborer's wages. And that's just about how all of you judge us, isn't it? That's all the importance you see in helping children to become thinking, rational, beauty-appreciating humans. Certainly. You'll do something important if they ever have a war. Fine. Thank you. I appreciate all that it means. But I give every day, Captain, important things, things that build and create and give you something worth protecting. I'm working on my doctorate in education, Captain. Do you know how long that will take me? At least another 3 or 4 years, part-time. Now, is that professional enough for you? And you know how I'll get it, Captain? By scrimping and saving, by moonlighting jobs so that I can eat and pay for my books and my courses. Actually, we're not supposed to work on the side when we're still on probation. So if you intend to use this information against me to protect your precious lieutenant...
Suppose I did. What would you do then? You certainly wouldn't lie, would you?
Good afternoon, Captain.
Miss Whedon, I want you to know that I consider teaching one of the highest professions. And I want to apologize to you for leading you on. But you see, I have responsibilities and obligations also.
And you maneuver people very well, Captain.
Lieutenant Rice is a good man. I believe his story. I find it hard not to believe you, too. Now, isn't it possible that there's some explanation for all of this? Some honest answer that might explain what you say happened?
I'm sorry. I wasn't mistaken.
All right. Thank you.
Now, are there any questions before we proceed? All right. Now, actually, this is an attempt to avoid a trial. As I told you before, no one's under oath. That means if anyone has second thoughts, he or she is not risking perjury by correcting a mistake. And we're not hampered here by any formal rules of evidence and procedure. Either you, Miss Whedon, or you, Lieutenant Rice, can ask questions
If you get too far astray, I'll pull you back. Any questions from either party?
Sir, did you reach Bellman?
No, he brushed me off. I do not have power of subpoena in a hearing of this type. Send in Officer Mackey, please. Sit down, officer. Now, Officer Mackey, according to your arrest report, you first observed Lieutenant Rice loitering in a suspicious manner.
Well, possibly that was a little strong. He was standing in front of a dark store window, sporting goods store.
Well, why did you take special notice?
Well, there are guns on display in that window. So we doubled back to check him out. And we heard a scream. It came from the alley next to the club. When we got there, we found Miss Whedon and the lieutenant. Now, she was hysterical. Her hair was mussed up. Sleeve was torn where the lieutenant had grabbed her.
Just a minute, please. Did you see me touch her?
No. But he was standing very close, no more than a foot away.
You didn't see anyone else, like another man?
No. Just you and her.
Lieutenant Rice had to take his people on an early morning hike, so he waited for the bus and we took the car on to Dusty's.
Lieutenant, you'd been in town all evening.
I'd say we arrived in town about 20:30, sir. That's 8:30.
And you'd all been drinking quite steadily until Lieutenant Rice left you?
Are you asking if we were drunk, sir? We weren't. As a matter of fact, we spent most of the evening just wandering around.
Looking for anything special?
People, music, a few laughs, sir.
Girls?
Girls are people. Are you suggesting there's anything wrong or sordid about that, sir?
So all of you were looking for a good time, including Lieutenant Rice.
Lieutenant Rice actually wanted to shove off before we went into the club. We kind of pressured him.
I see. Any questions, Miss Whedon?
No, no questions.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're excused. We're going to call a brief recess. A few minutes. We'll call you when we reconvene.
How thirsty I was.
It's hot in there.
Yes. Thank you for being here. It's nice to have a friend on my side of the table, too.
Is that bell back there straight, sir?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this will help, but she is proud of her ability, the work she does, and seems to feel strongly about the lack of recognition they get.
Yes, sir.
There might be something in the fact that she's bitter about the scrimping and saving she's had to do to continue her education. I think I might be, too.
Yeah. Nice-looking fellow.
Yes. I suppose under ordinary circumstances, I'd find him attractive, too.
Hmm.
You know, it is possible to like this girl.
Not for me, sir. Not now.
The situation is this, then. We have a statement of accusal from Miss Whedon, which in some degree seems to be corroborated by the testimony of the officer. On the other hand, we have a statement from Lieutenant Rice, which is partially corroborated by a friend. Nothing has been resolved here, Miss Whedon, so I'm afraid the decision is up to you. Do you want to proceed into court with your complaint?
If I withdraw the complaint, just...
That wouldn't do me much good, would it, Miss Whedon? Sir, do you mind if I ask this young lady a few questions, please?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. Now, Miss Whedon, understand that some teachers, especially those involved in graduate study, they sometimes have to work part-time for...
Oh, yes. I thought that probably would come up. It's never been a secret to Mr. Clay that I've moonlighted. He understands.
This wasn't an attempt to get your job, Miss Whedon. Lieutenant Rice wasn't even aware that working was prohibited.
I'm not ashamed of working. I've done research papers for an aerospace plant. I filled in as a librarian.
It's very hard on these girls. Such jobs usually have long hours, don't pay much. Add to this the fact they have to take home lessons to plan, papers to correct.
All right, Mr. Clay, thank you. That's true, thank you.
Are you working now, Miss Whedon? I mean by that, were you working that night?
I told you I went to the movie.
Was it near the nightclub?
It's in the same city, yes.
Did you go into the nightclub?
No, I did not, Lieutenant.
Was your car parked nearby? You see, I wonder why you chose that particular alley.
Yes.
You said at the police station that you were...
Yes, I know. I said I was on my way to the bus. I was upset.
Miss Whedon, I was in town myself that night. The traffic in the parking seemed rather light. It's strange that you should put your car in the nightclub parking lot, then walk some 2 blocks away to a movie.
I resent you constantly implying I have something to do with that place.
Miss Whedon, I found that place rather nice myself.
I'm sure you do, Lieutenant. But I find such places vulgar. Pawing drunks, cheap music, cheap comedians, and cheap women.
Oh, come on, baby. You spoke to me on the phone. My name's Bellman, Jerry Bellman. Right, baby?
Are you offering testimony?
You're a phony. You're a 14-carat phony. You call me a cheap comic. Well, let me tell you something. I try to give him something for every nickel. And you talk about having it tough. School teacher, you don't know what tough is. You live in a room someplace. You go for months and months. Finally, somebody comes up with a one-night stand. So you get up there and you punch and you work and you suck and you give them something. Nothing. They just sit there. They don't laugh. They sit there staring at you. They dare you to be funny. Well, you figure they pay their money, you got to give them something. So you pick up the pieces. You go back to work. Oh. Maybe someday I'll drop dead, then maybe they'll laugh.
Mr. Bellman...
Let me tell you something, Buster. Just because you're wearing that uniform, don't think you're a Boy Scout. So don't go running to every dame who needs help, you understand? Some old lady crossing the street, okay. But these young dolls... You're really not going to tell them, are you? You got too much class. You got a lot of class.
Every word that I said was a lie.
Well, this afternoon is going to cost me a day's work. I'll be up half the night.
Thanks a lot, Bellman.
For what? She called me a cheap comic. You come in some night. You'll see.
Sir, I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry.
I wanted to be the one to say that. I'm so ashamed. You can't possibly understand.
Maybe I do. I feel the same way about my job.
What I meant is, you don't understand that I teach my children not to compromise. I teach them to stand up straight for whatever they believe in, no matter how much it hurts. I tell them all sorts of brave things. And then I turn around and do the exact opposite. What I meant to say is that I'm sorry. And thank you for coming back so that I could say it.
Welcome to Recruit Training Regiment, gentlemen. You can relax. Stand easy. As you know, we encourage prospective recruits to finish high school before they join us. So, as usual, summer finds us overstocked and understaffed. Your temporary duty here will be as series officers, supervising the training of boots. Dunkel and Kirby to the 2nd Battalion. Patterson and Stauffer, 3rd Battalion. Report your battalion commanders and get your company assignments. Carry on. This way, Lieutenant. Close it. You have a special assignment, Rice. One of our drill instructors has been accused of maltreating his boots. Cold, hard word is brutality. So far, we haven't been able to tell if it's true or not. That's where you come in. You're assigned the 1st Battalion, Alpha Company.
sir, this looks like recruit gear to me.
For the next few weeks, you're going to be Rice, W.T., Private United States Marine Corps.
Man, Private, you lost? You knucklehead, you lost?
No, sir. I was looking for the...
When you came to the Marine Corps, you were taught the position of attention. You assume it! You're also taught the only three words you need to have. Sir, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
You lost, boy. What?
Yes, sir.
What outfit you looking for?
Alpha Company, sir. 1st Battalion, sir.
Stand in the bus middle of it, boy. What's your business with Alpha First?
I had 3 weeks training, sir. Then I was sent to the hospital, sir.
What's the matter? The going got too rough? Made the little boy sick, huh?
No, sir. That's not right, sir. I had the measles, sir.
What's your name, Private?
Rice, W.T., sir.
All right, Rice, W.T. I'm gonna be watching you real close. You won't have to break any rules. All you have to do is bend them. I'll ride your back so hard you wish you'd joined the Navy. Now you suck in that big fat gut, you knucklehead. Let's pull that chin in. Pull it in. Pull it in. Get that chin down. Fall in on your squad leader. Let's go. Move on. Quick, pull up. Tight. Tight. Hold it up. Get over. All right. 236. We're going to go through it twice. Do you like that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the Marine Corps too rough for you girls?
No, sir.
You want to go through twice? 236?
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it.
Yes, sir.
You man, you grab these ropes, start swinging. I want to hear some sound. Move! Move! Let's hear some noise! Move!
You know why he wants it twice? Because the second time around it begins to hurt. And that... he gets his kicks out of watching something hurt.
You always bellyache about everything, Grace.
Russell, you'll be lucky to make it through once. Watch his face when we begin to sweat. You'll see what I mean.
What happens if a man can't make it through twice?
Blabbermouth. 3 blabbermouths. All right, move out here, quick. Move. You. What do we have here? Platoon Debating Society?
No, sir.
You with a big mouth, you were talking in ranks. What are you, some kind of troublemaker?
No, sir.
Yes, I think you are. Someone with a big mouth talks in ranks. You like that, don't you?
No, sir.
Yes, I think you do. Russell, you've been a bone in my throat, boy, ever since you got here. Do you know that?
No, sir.
I don't even believe you know why you're here, do you?
Sir, I want to be a Marine.
You faking it, Russell. Why are you here?
Sir, I want to be a Marine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're here because the nasty doctor frightened the boy with his little needle, is that right?
Sir, I want to be a Marine.
All right, Franklin, I'm going to take these 3 through myself. You handle the rest. All right, you 3. Move up to the pit on the double. You 4, let's get to the rear. Move. Close it up. All right. You will run this course in 4 minutes. 4 minutes only, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And I want to hear some noise. Move! Don't dog it! Come on, move, girl! Move, 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 move! Come on! Let's hear some noise, girl! Let's hear some noise! Let's go, girl! Catch him! Let's go! Where you go? Go! All right, catch him! Catch him! All right, hear some noise in there! Catch him! Move! All right! All right, Russell, you little sissy. You say you want to be a Marine? Be one. Swing your foot. Swing your foot over. Come on! I'm sick and tired of you lagging behind. Now you get some guts and let's catch up. Let's catch up. Oh, let's go. You're falling behind. Let's go.
Check his expression.
All right, you stop beating your gums and get with the program, Grace. Now move. Come on, come on. Lift the foot over it. Let's go. Let's go. I didn't say to take all day. Hook those heels into the cable, boy. Get those toes outboard and your arms over the rope. Hot. Did you hear what I said to you? Oh, come on up there. Get your heels there. Let's go now. Let's go. You got it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Catch up. All right. Put your feet on the bar. Keep your feet on the bar, Russell. Let's go up. Russell, how many times do I have to tell you? You swing your left arm and your left leg over together. Russell, you are really coordinated, aren't you? What are you going to do for an encore? All right, now come on down like you're on a ladder. That's very good, Russell. They're waiting for you. Get in the middle. Hands on the vertical, feet on the horizontal. Let's move. Let's move. All right, wait. Let's have some teamwork here. Teamwork. Wait for him. Help this man. Come on, Russell. Get up there, feet, cowboy. This is teamwork. Marine Corps is built on teamwork, and I want to see it. That doesn't mean you give up, Russell, your mama's baby. You keep on going. Keep your body in there to the net. Let's go. Come on. That's all right. Let him home. Let's go. Let's go now. Get behind. Go. Come on. Let's go over. Oh, fine. All right, stand up. You let him go. You'll stand up on your own 2 feet. Gonna have to do it one of these days. You might as well start right now. Tuck you knotheads. Over 5 minutes, you're gonna move to the edge of the pit. You're gonna go through this course again, and this time you're gonna do it in 4 minutes. Do you read me? Yes, sir! All right, move out.
Maybe he doesn't enjoy it, huh?
Oh.
Welcome to the Hague Casting Club.
Yeah, thanks.
Another crump, a lousy crump.
Get up! Rice, WT.
Yes, sir.
Report to the depot dispensary.
Is that right away, sir?
Yeah, that's right away. Now get moving. On the double, Private.
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Hey, maybe you got lucky. Maybe they're gonna stick you back in the hospital.
You know something, Grace? One more day like today, and I'd end up there anyway.
You know it.
Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Here's the man you asked for, Colonel.
Thank you, Doctor. Will you excuse us now?
Surely, sir.
Relax, Lieutenant. You're among friends. I'm Colonel McAdams, Depot G2. Sit down. You look as though you can use the rest.
You don't know how right you are, sir.
I'm the one who was responsible for your assignment.
Well, then I'd like to explain to the Colonel that I've already protested this assignment, sir. You see, I've had 4 years at Annapolis and another 6 months at Quantico.
Which may be exactly why you were picked, Lieutenant.
To be an informer, sir? I haven't had any experience at that.
Rice, Caston has been a Marine for 14 years. He holds the Navy Cross for the Chosin Reservoir affair. He has everything it takes to be a good DI. And good DIs are rare as 100-carat diamond. Everything we have and everything we are is built upon them. And there is nothing in this world I wouldn't do or ask another officer to do in order to keep a good one. Does that make my position clear?
Yes, sir, it does.
Now then, one of Caston's trainees sent a letter home charging him with brutality. The boy's parents bucked this letter up to their congressman. So far, that's not too unusual. That doesn't worry us. We always have a few trainees who get shaken up by what we demand of them here. But what does worry us is that we've begun to have doubts about Caston ourselves. Lately, he's had more and more dropouts with each class.
Yes, sir.
Now, we've tried to look into this in the usual ways, but we've drawn a blank. Now, I don't like undercover tactics any better than you do. But on the other hand, if this is the only way we have to get at the truth, this is the way we'll have to go about it.
Do you know the name of the trainee who made the accusation, sir?
No, it's been withheld. Perhaps it's better that way. Now, remember, our primary concern is Caston. If he's guilty of brutality, he'll have to take the consequences. Or he may simply be doing a good job. And in that case, he deserves our backing. Now, I want Caston tested. Pressure him. Foul up every chance you get.
I've done pretty well at that already, sir, even without trying.
Off the record, Rice, I realize this is a pretty miserable assignment. But tell me, what do you think of Caston so far?
Well, he's rough, sir. Maybe a bit too rough.
I think we owe him this much. The truth. See if you can get it for us. That's all, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir, I'll do my best, sir.
Rice! What are you doing in that outfit? Learning your job from the ground up?
Yeah, that's about it. I guess I'm a conscientious type.
Private Rice! Left new, sir. When you talk to an officer, you stand attention, you hear me?
Oh, excuse, Sergeant. I guess I'm kind of tired.
Tired? You don't know the meaning of the word yet. I apologize, sir. This buckethead's the worst foul-up I've ever had.
That's all right, Sergeant. I hope you can straighten him out, Sergeant.
You bet I can, sir.
Carry on.
Yes, sir. You get to your billet, and you move out! Ready? See! Eddie!
All right, old buddy, you really got the treatment. Yeah, I guess the time you spent in the hospital sort of left you stale, huh?
Something like that.
Join the club.
So we're the patsies, huh?
That's the way Caston works. Picks out a couple, concentrates on breaking them. Ruins his whole week if he doesn't get somebody to beg to get out of here.
He won't make me beg.
Oh, he won't make me beg. Won't he?
I'm staying.
Gung-ho. Nothing old Russell likes better than a good fight.
No, I don't like a fight. I've only had one fight in my life, and I ran away from that one.
Hey, keep your voice down, will you, huh?
My old man was so ashamed that...
He talked you into joining up, huh?
No. He just didn't talk to me, that's all. I figured that if a guy can't make it here...
You're off your rocker. At least somebody had to put me here. My old man was an ex-Chirene. Practically won a big war, all by himself, to hear him tell it. I get in a little trouble in school, and bang! Join up, son. Join up, boy. So I had to join up or I'm on my own. You couldn't get your old man to talk to you. I'd have given anything just to have him shut up.
Haul it! It up! It pick it home! 1, 2, 3, 4! Put home! Right! We execute the commands together here. You understand me? Do you? Yes, sir. Good. Hold up! Home! 1, 2, cut! Inspection! Home! 1, 2, 3, 4! Put! Home! I say one bolt! I want to hear one bolt! You understand me? Don't you listen when I talk to you? Yes, sir. You smiling?
No, sir.
Don't you contradict me, you knucklehead. I saw you smiling. Now, if I ever catch you smiling again in attention, I'll have you doing so many push-ups the ants know you by your first name. That clear? Yes, sir, that's clear, sir. Tuck in that grubby chin. Get in! Hold up! Home! 1, 2, 3! Red! Hey! Put! Home! 1, 2! Put up! Head! Put, hip, hip, and left! Left, right, and left! Step, rip, head! Step, right, step! Step, rip, head! Step, right, step! And halt! Yes! You're absolutely the worst foul-up I've ever had in a platoon. You don't know your left from your right. You don't know your rear from your front. You probably don't know which way is up, which way is down. I've had you for 2 days, and I am fed up to my ears. Because you don't like it here. What? Yes, sir. You don't like it here? What? No, sir. No, sir. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, yes, sir. I mean, I like it here, sir. I can't hear you. I mean, I like it here, sir. Let's hear it. I like it here, sir.
Kids in bed already?
They usually are at this hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm late again. I'm sorry. Would the CEO of this outfit object too much if I tiptoe in and have a look? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, what do you got to eat for a hungry Marine?
Lots of stuff in the refrigerator. Help yourself.
Now, look, I work hard all day. The least thing you can do is fix me some chow.
Don't start on me, Sergeant. Save it for your recruits.
Nancy, I know it's rough on you. So's my job. It calls for long hours.
But you volunteered for it. You didn't talk it over with me. You didn't give me a choice. And I happen to know you had several. Was Washington, Camp Lejeune?
You read the papers. Now, these kids I'm working with may be asked to stick their necks out at any time. They're entitled to every break they can get to save those necks. And what I'm teaching them may just give them that break.
Are you willing to give up your family for that, Carl?
If I have to. I'm sorry, Sugar. I didn't mean that.
Hon, it's almost 10 o'clock.
Nancy, you're right. I have been putting in extra hours, but everybody from the regimental commander on down has just been giving me the big fish eye, let me tell you. My dropout record stinks. They all hint that I've been pushing too hard, and...
And you don't think you do? Well, I've seen you out there yelling and screaming.
Listen, girl, that's my job. It's my job to shape them into a good, tight platoon. It's my job to climb all over them if I have to. I've got to push them right to the edge. Every DI does that. If they're gonna break, let it be now, not under fire. Do you understand that?
But when you get home, you shout at the kids like you were drilling them too.
That is ridiculous, and you know it.
Is it? They used to fight with me to stay up until you got home. Have you seen them staying awake for you lately? Hello. Sergeant Caston's residence. Yes, this is Mrs. Caston.
There are lots of girls who do most anything for a Marine.
Who is this?
And works late every night. You're wrong. And if you think your husband stays on the base and works late every night, you're wrong. There are lots of girls in San Diego who do most anything for a Marine.
Come on, who is this? Listen, you lousy liar! Who is this? You don't believe that, do you?
Yes. Yes, I understand. Of course, you can't trace a local call. Well, thank you anyway. Is there anyone in particular who might have it in for you?
Well, the colonel could pick a number from 1 to 62, sir. I don't expect them to love me, sir.
There's no way of being sure that the call came from this base.
Well, that's right, sir. But it's funny to me that it should happen right after I get a new man. He started out with 1 platoon and got the measles, was reassigned to me, and I've had to ride him pretty close, sir.
Oh? Maybe I ought to look into this.
Well, if the colonel don't mind, I think I can handle it, sir.
All right, Sergeant. It's your platoon. Handle it your own way.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Sergeant.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Everyone tell you stop, Rice! My back is breaking, sir! Copy!
1, 2, 3, 8.
What was that? Sir, my back is breaking! Right, Private, I have an exercise for that back. You come with me. Back there, let's get on it. You get over here. Yes, sir. You people getting tired? No, sir. No, sir. Let me hear. You people getting tired? No! All right. Let's go, let's go. Get up. Come on. Better now? Yes, sir. I don't think it is. I want to see some squat thrusts. Come over here. Ready? Exercise. I knew a character in Korea had a bad back, Private Rice. Gave out on him, he said. So he brought us only 4 cans of ammo when the lieutenant asked for 6. You keep moving, boy! What that cost us? Cost us 11 men. Let me tell you, they were all good Marines, and they're not here today because of a whining goof-off like you. Is that the way it should be? No, sir. You back better now? Yes, sir. You're a Marine, let's hear it. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get back with the others. This is a pugil stick. First step in your bayonet training. That's more than that. Some of you men have never had a fight. The idea of physical contact scares you. Well, you're going to find out today that getting knocked down isn't half as bad as being scared of it. I'm going to pair you off, and the other man is going to try to whale the daylights out of you. Are you going to let him do that? No, sir! I will now illustrate the proper method. I need a volunteer. You volunteering, Rice? Yes, sir. You sure you want to? Sir, I've never been so sure of anything in my life. All right, you get out of here. All right, sir. At ease. Now, you grasp the wooden portion as you would your rifle, giving you free access to strike with the blade end or the butt, as you see fit. What's the matter, Private? You're waiting for the referee's whistle to blow? And when you're holding this, you must be prepared at all times to defend yourself. Is this what you mean, sir? Oh, it's very good, Private. Let's see if you can handle this.
He's gonna kill him.
All right. I'm glad to see your back's improved, Private. And maybe that taught you something.
There's no man alive you can't take if you want to bad enough. Now get on your feet, I'm gonna pair you off.
Aye, sir.
Due to report 136.
Thanks.
Ooh, what a day. A real stinker.
Aren't they all?
Coffee, Perk?
No, thanks. I hear you got decked out there today.
Bad news travels fast.
How'd it happen?
Now beats me, the worst foul up in the platoon. Hey, Perk. How do you know when you're pushing too hard?
I don't know. What I do know is that to get the job done, you got to push right to the edge all the time.
Uh-huh. That means you can push over the edge very easy.
This is my third tour here, and I still think about it. We scream at them, sure. We act like we're mad. You know, sometimes I still have to walk away to remind myself it's an act.
Yeah, it's got to be done. These kids wouldn't last 10 minutes in combat if they couldn't stand up under the pressure.
It's got to be done. These kids... Well, how many kids got real backbone? We break them down, and then we rebuild them from the souls up. Those who make it through the 11 weeks get what they're looking for. It happens the first time you call them men, and they suddenly realize what that word means. That's when it pays off for me. Watching them sparkle out there when they graduate. And remembering how I brought them up since that first day.
Oh, you take this knothead that decked me today. Sometimes I get the feeling I could shape him up into a real good Marine, but let me tell you, he is absolutely the worst.
A Company, 1st Battalion. Sergeant Linden speaking. Hold the line a minute. He's right here. It's for you.
Hello. Where is she? All right, well, tell her I'll be right there. Thank you. Purse, can I have your car for a minute? I gotta go to gate 3.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
What's the matter, honey? Something wrong with the kids?
Carl, there was another phone call. This one was worse than the other. You should have heard what he said.
What'd you do? You come out here to see whether he's telling the truth?
You think I'm checking on you?
Honey, I'm sorry.
No. Maybe I was. Carl, I don't know what to think. I just couldn't sit there alone. I took the phone off the hook, and then I was worried somebody would come to the front door. I'm scared crazy. Please, come home with me.
Honey, I got the duty tonight. You know I can't leave the base.
I'm sorry I've been so complaining. I know when you're tired, I should be helping.
Oh, no. Honey, look, we both make mistakes. We're both human. Like, you know, I was thinking about what you said last night about the kids. I'm going to try to do better. We'll talk about it tonight. I'll find some way to get home just as soon as I take care of something.
Private Rice reporting as ordered, sir.
At ease. All right, who are you?
Sir, my name is Rice, W.T.
I'm not buying that.
W.T. Rice, sir.
Now get off.
You asked me a question, Sergeant.
That's right, I asked you a question. I want the right answer. Did you call my home tonight?
No, I didn't.
I think you did.
Sir, I don't know what you're talking about.
I tell you what I'm talking about. I'm just beginning to add this up. And when you see I'm looking at you, you always foul up. And when you think I'm not looking at you, you got more ability than anyone in the platoon. Now, what would that add up to you, huh? You're out to cause me trouble. I want to know why.
You calling me a liar, Sergeant? Go on, you try that. Just try it. I decked you once. I figure I can handle you again.
It's my fault, Private. I made a mistake of bringing this down to a personal level.
Afraid of keeping it there, Sergeant?
Now, this is order. You get back to your billets. I hear anything out of you, but yes, sir, I'm going to see you in the brig. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, sir, that if it were going to happen, it would have happened right then.
In other words, you feel that the charges against him are false.
I'm certain of it, sir. Caston may be a tough DI, but he's no tougher than a good one should be.
Well, there's still one phase of this that's a puzzler. Those phone calls. But that's not your headache, it's mine. There's a room waiting for you at the BOQ.
I have a few personal things I'd like to pick up, sir. I left them over there. Also, I'd like one last look at that place. It'll make me appreciate tomorrow, sir.
Fine.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
What happened?
Somebody jumped me.
Who was it? Did you see?
Sergeant, we saw it, Russell and me.
Who did it?
It was Caston.
He clobbered Rice and ran off. Well, it happened so fast we couldn't do anything.
Well, sir, I'm sure of one thing. It wasn't Caston.
Which would mean that both Grace and Russell are lying.
I'd like another 48 hours on the job, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
How do you feel?
Rough. Little tender, maybe.
I guess that takes care of Caston. He's through here.
You know, I just can't figure him jumping me from behind like that. You know, Grace, there's a name for a man like that.
When you decked him yesterday, you stepped on his pride. A man like that doesn't know any other way to get back at you.
Now, you listen to me, you animals. We're going to the range today. You pack your gear and you get ready. You've got exactly 3 minutes. Move! Down! You got 1 minute to tighten up them packs. I don't care how you do it, but I don't want to hear any talking.
Hey, Russell. Could I see you a minute?
What's up?
Listen on.
Russell?
I'll talk to you about it later.
What's wrong?
What are you yakking to him about?
Nothing.
Grace, you shut up. Yes, sir. You go to the duty office and get the corrected roster. Move on. Yes, sir. Move.
Sir, Private Grace reporting. Corrected duty roster, platoon 136, sir.
Go ahead, Private. Fill in the rear rank, Private.
Sir, I'm taking squad, sir.
You're in the 4th squad in this hike, Private.
Yes, sir.
Two, dead, hut. Right, hey. Put, ha. Forward, hard. Put, yes, hey, and little. Hell, hey, and little. And hold it up. Take 5.
Where you from, Russell?
Kansas.
Oh, yeah?
You freeze there, Grace. Where do you think you're going? You get back in your squad. Yes, sir. All right, move. Move! Is anyone tired? No, sir! Is anyone gonna quit? No, sir! Good. What's your problem now, Rice? Have you lost something? Well?
No, sir, not something, someone. Sergeant, do you mind if I speak to you alone for a minute, please, sir?
Now take over, Franklin. What is it?
Look, Sergeant, I'm a lieutenant working for G2.
All right, so I'm taking all I'm going to take from you. Now you get over there, you sit down, you shut up!
Sergeant Caston. Now, I've identified myself, and I'm giving you an order. If you think I look and sound like a recruit right now, mister, I suggest you take action. Article 134, Manual for Courts Martials, that refers to impersonating an officer. Now, you add that up and think about it, mister. And if you look around, Sergeant Caston, you'll see Privates Russell and Grace are missing. It might be interesting to find out what happened to them. I suggest you follow me, Sergeant.
I want to know what you've been telling him.
And I told you I didn't say anything to him.
You open your mouth, Russell, and I'll...
We were just talking.
You're a liar. He's a lieutenant and he's pumping you. I saw the file on him, Russell.
You see a lot of things, don't you? You saw Caston's dropout list, and then you saw my name on it, didn't you?
All right, Junior. Maybe you're not on Caston's dropout list. Maybe Caston doesn't even have a dropout list, but you let anybody know you lied about him clobbering Rice and you're finished anyway. Caston's been pushing me around, and I don't take that from anybody.
You're running away from things a lot worse than I do. At least I admit that I'm running. You know that? I'm through running! I'd be better off cut out of the Marine Corps, but I'm not running and lying anymore!
Both men filed a false report. They're responsible for you, a lieutenant, taking a beating. They almost cost you, a Navy Cross man, his career. And yet you two come in here and try to defend one of them?
Private Grace is one thing, sir. He was trying to shortcut his way, and he didn't want to lay out what it cost to make it here. It's hard for any man to do something with someone like that. But Private Russell, he really wants to be a Marine, sir. He may have acted a little foolish, but I respectfully submit he's a different case.
I agree with the lieutenant, sir. It's true he told a lie, Colonel, but that's the worst thing in a man that can be straightened out, sir.
Well, I'll take it topside with your recommendations, along with mine. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Well, Sergeant, good hunting to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Send us over some good people.
I'll try, sir. That's a little woman, sir, with the pressure off. We've had our problems, but well, if the lieutenant will excuse me, I think I'd better start seeing what I can do about it.
Good luck to you, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Aren't you people out at the guerrilla warfare course?
Yeah, they are. I just got in. I'm supposed to report to the Chief of Staff.
The Colonel? Uh-huh. Didn't I tell you not to go out with his daughter? Isn't that what I said? Look, there is no reason to panic. Now just relax. Don't admit anything.
I got nothing to admit.
Oh, come off it. You were out with Nan Highland till 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, even if I didn't know you, I've heard plenty about her.
Rice W.T., Sergeant.
Yes, sir. He's waiting for you. Will you step in, sir?
Lieutenant Rice, sir.
Oh, yes, you're the Lieutenant Rice my daughter's been dating, aren't you?
Yes, sir, but...
Go on in. General Stone's expecting you.
Sir, you did say
Yeah,
that...
Go on.
Care less. Now, the real issue is somebody's lying, and I want to know who. I wouldn't care for my own brother. I want him bounced. Well?
Lieutenant Rice reporting, sir.
My aide is ill. I need somebody to fill in. Do you want the job?
You're interested in me as your aide, sir?
Well, that's the idea. I thought I was communicating. You did put in for the job.
Your Quantico call is on the line, sir.
Stone here.
Sir, I've been here for less than a year. I don't know anything about headquarters, the people, the places. I'd be about as much help to the general as...
Hold on, Colonel. I can't hear you. All right, repeat that. Call me back just as soon as you're here. Yes. If Quinlan calls, tell him that I think the Washington plan is half-baked and half-prepared.
That might be a bit strong, sir. I might suggest if you simply say just...
Well, that's the way I feel about it. Now, you tell him I'll fly back and say it in person if necessary.
All right, sir.
Well, Lieutenant, what's the matter? Buck fever? You expressed an interest in becoming an aide? Well, right now I need an aide.
Sir, I'm not sure I'm the best qualified man for the job. And as my having expressed an interest in becoming an aide,
It's Quantico back on the line, sir. Colonel Quinlan.
You have my message. Well, now, on paper, you look well qualified. Now then, are you trying to tell me you're not interested in this job?
Sir, I didn't apply for the job. I have one. I command a rifle platoon, sir.
You are Lieutenant Wright, William D.
Rice. R-I-C-E. William T., sir.
Well. Colonel, come on in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Colonel, there's been a mix-up here. I asked for Lieutenant Wright.
My mistake, sir. I understood the general to say Rice. I'll get Lieutenant Wright.
Hold on. Yes, sir. Now, whose file is this? Rice's or Wright's?
Rice, sir. R-I-C-E.
Will that be all, sir?
I have a tight schedule coming up, Lieutenant. I need an aide right now.
Well, then the general's asking me to volunteer, sir.
I said I need an aide.
Then it's an order, sir.
No, it's not an order.
General Stone, I can't really volunteer, sir.
Well, that's honest at least. On your way out, tell Colonel Highland to send for Lieutenant Wright on the double, that's all. Well, what is it?
I'd like to say something more, sir, if I may.
Well, now, don't you think that we've wasted enough of each other's time, Lieutenant?
I want to say, sir, I'd be honored to work for the general in any capacity. But I think there are other men better qualified for the job. It would be a disservice to you, sir, if I volunteered for a job I wasn't ready to handle.
Well, knowing your way around is part of the job, you're right. But it's not the biggest requirement. Saving me time, that's the real job here. You have to put in a 10-hour day to save me 45 minutes. That's the job. Colonel, cut an order assigning Lieutenant Rice as my temporary aide.
I'm not sure I understand that, sir.
Well, I'm accepting what you said about being honored to work for me. Consider yourself honored. Now, check base operations. Get an ETA on a visiting delegation of Turkish Army officers. Meet them and bed them down at VIP quarters. Next, I'm having a reception this evening for the Turk officers, some senior officers, and some people from town. Now, coordinate all arrangements with Colonel Highland and my wife.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Thank you, sir.
Anything I can do to help you get launched?
Yes, sir, I do have one problem. It's about the General's party tonight. Do you have any idea who'll be there?
Oh, check with Mrs. Stone on that. She has the guest list.
Thank you, sir.
And, Lieutenant,
Sir.
anybody can get a flat tire. But if you plan on taking out my daughter again, I'll expect her home before midnight, even if it means calling a taxi.
Yes, sir.
What was Quinlan's answer?
But you could be putting your star on the line, sir. They'll probably ask you to go back and say it in person.
They pay me to state what I believe, Colonel. I won't shortchange him.
All right, sir. General, that Lieutenant, Rice, he must have impressed you.
I'm giving him a chance to impress me.
Well, he's a little green for this assignment. Wouldn't help his career any if he couldn't hack it.
Could be. Or he could be marked down as someone to watch.
It's a risk for a man with 2 or 3 years behind him. It's a lot to ask, sir.
That's right. I ask a lot.
Well. Hello there, Lieutenant. Everything shipshape? Everything apple pie order?
Fine, Nan. I'll see you later, huh?
Oh, got time to meet my father?
I just did. He's a nice guy. You're lucky, you know that?
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
About our having car trouble? Next time you change a fax, Nan, let me in on it, okay?
Oh. Well, if you'd call me once in a while, there might be all sorts of interesting things I'd let you in on.
Okay. I'll call you sometime.
Bill, I know we argued a little that night.
We didn't argue. We disagreed a lot. Nan, if the food is bad, if the service isn't right, let me make the complaint, okay? And if I want to park afterwards, I'll do it. I don't need some child to grab the car keys.
Fine, fine, fine. We'll start all over again tonight. I'm taking you to the General's party.
I'm taking myself. I've been appointed General Stone's new aide.
Oh, you just need to be congratulated. Congratulations.
You don't know any of these people from town?
Mrs. Stone, they're kind of out of my league.
Dear, the General is very particular.
That's for sure. I mean, I know he likes to have things done right.
Now, about the floral arrangements. See if you can round up some camellias.
Of course, Mrs. Stone.
How about a drink?
Now, that sounds good.
Oh, Lieutenant, would you mind getting the door, please?
Yes, sir.
Well, hello again.
Well, hello again.
Who's following who? You know, Dad saw you kissing me this morning in the parking lot. He was a little stuffy about it.
He saw me kissing you? No.
Well, you were helping. Not much, but some.
Hey, come on.
Well, what's the matter?
Nan, you know the General's wife's here. Now, what's with you anyway, huh? Be a good little girl.
Billy. I like you. And it's just beginning to occur to me that I've got you just where I want you.
Mm-hmm. Nan, once more about you and me, and I'm gonna...
You're in my country now, mister. I swing a lot of weight around here. It wouldn't pay to make me angry with you, Bill. Now smile sweetly and tell me you're at my command.
You know, Nan, I've met almost a dozen officers' daughters, and I never knew what the word service brat meant until...
A dozen? Oh, my, I thought a gentleman never bragged.
Lieutenant, who is it? Oh, Nan. Oh, you brought the urn. Oh, did you two meet?
Yes, we've met. Haven't we, Bill?
Yeah, Mrs. Stone, I'm sorry, I have to get back to headquarters.
Bill, you'll pick me up at 6:30.
Oh, good. I meant to ask if you'd escort Nan.
6:30. See you then.
Come along, Nan. Bill's going to get me some extra camellias. See, do you suppose your father could spare some of those roses?
Rice? Yes, sir.
I hear it's definite you're with General Stone.
It's just a temporary assignment, sir.
Well, I believe that's the General's decision, isn't it?
Sir, I'll be back with a platoon as soon as Lieutenant Everest gets well. It should be within a few weeks at most.
Well, you don't mind if I get a replacement until then, do you?
No, sir.
Thank you.
In other words, you were trying to protect a subordinate.
I was hoping not to burden the
Answer
general
the
with
question, please.
If I misled the general, I apologize.
When I took over here, Colonel Wade, I gave fair warning to every member of this staff. You rated a second chance for an honest mistake, but God help you if you ever lied to me. Now, you're relieved of duty with this division as of right now. I'll see that arrangements are made for you to be off this base within 24 hours.
Aye, sir.
Yes. Well?
Sir, I received the revised list on the people from town and also...
So?
Well, sir, I'd like to know if you'd like to check
Remember what I said this morning about saving me time?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, I've got more to do than to correct your homework, Rice.
Yes, sir. Right this way, sir. Excuse me, sir. General, I'd like you to meet Mayor McElwain.
Chief of Police, General. Not Mayor. Not yet, anyway.
Well, delighted you could come, Chief.
Thank you.
Have you met our Turkish friends?
Oh, how do you do, sir?
My pleasure. Come along. We'll meet the others.
Fine. Thanks for the promotion, my boy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I think you and I met last week in Laguna.
Be a good boy, Bill, and go talk to Mrs. Carlisle. She's all alone.
Miss Highland, may I get you a whip and some spurs?
Now, whatever gave you the idea that I need them?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Mayor.
Lieutenant's needed on the phone, long distance.
Thank you. Miss Highland, you will excuse me, I hope.
It's in there, sir.
You sure it's for me?
Well, he asked for the general, but we always check first through the aides.
Okay, thanks. General Stone say Lieutenant Rice speaking. Washington? General McCrary? Yes, operator. Hold on, please.
Rice.
Sir?
Mayor wants to meet you. Lieutenant Everest. He's the general's former aide.
Lieutenant. You're just the guy I wanted to see. Hey, would you hold on a second? I got a long-distance call for the general. Don't go away, huh? Please.
Okay.
As I told the colonel, we staff people keep busy. Busy, busy, busy.
Drop dead, huh?
New man, paranoid type.
Excuse me, sir. Long distance. General McCrary on the phone, I believe.
Yes, I'll take it. Scotch and soda. Very weak.
Excuse me. Evers, could I see you for a second?
Sure. Excuse me?
For the general. Scotch and
And
soda. I understand he likes them weak.
Very weak. And when he says it, he means it.
Well, I'll allow you. You're a little shaky. What's the matter, battle fatigue?
No. The medics think it's thyroid trouble. The shakes, can't sleep.
Well, it figures from what I've seen around here.
You want the friendly advice bit?
Yeah, I do.
Let's just stay out of his way as much as you can the next few days while you're learning the job. Look, I'm checking into the hospital in the morning, but I'll have plenty of time between tests, so come around and I'll give you as much of the routine as I can.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Now, the big thing with the general is if you get cornered for something you can't hack, don't try and fake it. Well, he'll bark if you ask questions, but you goof and he bites. And the bite is worse than the bark.
Okay, fine. Anything else you might add?
Just that, well, this could be the best or the worst thing that ever happened to you career-wise. You make it on this job, and it's going to be very large on your record.
And if I don't make it?
You better make it. And you better take him his drink.
See you at the hospital.
Okay.
And thanks.
Yes, Mac, I can be there Monday. Right, 10 o'clock then. I know. If I'm wrong, I'll take my lumps. Good night, Mac.
Here's Scotch, sir.
Thank you. Oh, Rice, call El Toro and see if you can arrange air transportation for us to Washington. I'd like to leave tomorrow night if possible.
For us, sir?
Well, you're going with me, of course.
Too strong, sir? Operator, give me base operations at El Toro, please.
And so I said to the colonel, in regard to the administrative problem, sir, it's my feeling that it's really a very complicated thing, but after a while it gets easier to handle the situation.
I don't often ask for a dance.
You don't, huh?
So, I'd be nicer if I were you. People who make enemies sometimes lose things they like.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, Lieutenant. Nan, it's getting late.
Bill and I'll be leaving soon.
Come on, I'll drive you home.
You're right, sir. It is getting rather late.
I would like Bill to take me home.
By midnight.
Come on, I'm a big girl now.
That's right, Nan. You're a big girl now.
I'll talk to the general. He'll let you go now.
Nan, I'll talk to the general myself. You'll excuse me, please?
Good night, Lieutenant. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you, sir. Lovely evening, Mrs. Stone.
Thank you so much.
Good night,
Sir, can I be of any further aid to you?
I can't think of one thing. You can go anytime you want.
Thank you, sir.
It was such a beautiful party.
Oh, thank you, Nan. And you were a great help as usual.
Thank you.
You're wrapped, Miss Hyland.
And thank you so much for those camellias. You've really got just the right amount. Oh, by the way, I'll have your coffee here in the morning.
Good night, Mrs. Stone.
Good night.
All right.
Sir.
Is this your hat?
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir. Mrs. Stone.
Good night, Rice.
He's a very nice boy. And he's trying so hard.
He's a man, and they all try hard.
Well, home early. What's the matter with her?
Little argument, sir, about coming straight home.
Well, if she wanted to come home early, Lieutenant.
Sir, it was a personal discussion.
Lieutenant, since Nan lost her mother, I feel my responsibility is twofold. Now, what's going on here?
I'm sorry, sir. I feel I have equally good reasons for not telling you why.
Well, let me tell you something. Spend less time chasing girls and more time concentrating on your job.
Oh, thank you. Lieutenant Rice?
Yes.
I'm Mrs. Wade. Colonel Wade's wife. You know what happened to my husband.
Well, I was in the office when he spoke to the general. I understand he's leaving Pendleton for another assignment.
You mean he's being thrown out?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wade.
So am I. Because it's so wrong, it's so terribly unfair. And he's just going to take it. He's not going to do a thing to defend himself. Lieutenant, do you think somehow you could get the general to read this letter?
Well, I don't know.
It's important, believe me.
I'm sure of that, Mrs. Wade, but in order for me to try...
Please?
Mrs. Wade, if I interfere in that level, well, it could be my neck.
My husband is a good Marine, Lieutenant. Do you know his record? Now, that letter's unsealed. You could read it yourself and then make up your mind. In fact, I'd want you to read it.
If I get a chance to give it to the general, I will.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Colonel, I was supposed to meet the general here, sir.
You check the weather?
No, sir.
Well, you'll find it's getting marginal, Lieutenant. The general's down at the flight line getting ready for an earlier takeoff. I suggest in the future you allow yourself more time for contingencies.
Yes, sir.
And, Lieutenant, you think you can worm your way out of this job by dogging it, you are sadly mistaken.
I have no such
Then
intention.
I suggest you get going.
Yes, sir.
Just made it, Lieutenant.
Sorry I'm late, sir.
Rice, I view this as inconsiderate and unmilitary. Sit down.
Take your seats, please, gents. We're about to take off. Fasten your seatbelts, please, gentlemen.
Chief?
Yes, sir?
It looks to me like the oil filler cap's loose.
I'll catch it, sir. Loose oil cap. I'll fix it, sir.
I thought it could be dangerous.
Possible, sir. We could have lost the oil from that engine when we started to climb. We'll straighten it out in a minute, General.
Just so we beat that fog bank, Greg.
We'll make it, sir.
Get the ladder up on that port wing and secure that oil cap.
Check with the skipper and see if we lost any oil pressure.
Hurry up, you guys.
Sir, I thought it could be dangerous.
So you said. I expect my aides to have 20/20 vision.
Coffee, sir?
Well, thank you, Rice. Now, those are the stops I want to make on the way home. Work out an itinerary and a time schedule so that I'll have at least 3 hours at each stop and get us home by Thursday morning.
Yes, sir. I'll go up forward and work it out with the pilot.
It isn't necessary to tell me how you're going to do it.
Yes, General.
Rice. Rice! Take one of the bunks and get some sleep.
What about the General, sir?
I've got some more boning up to do.
Yes, sir. I'd be glad to.
All right, I'll take care of those.
Cup of coffee, sir?
Rice, if in the last few days I've... Well, it's going to be a rough one tomorrow. I think I will have that coffee.
Right away, sir. Here, sir.
Thank you.
If the General has a moment.
Yes?
I have a letter here from Colonel Wade's wife, sir. She asked me to deliver it personally.
Now, Rice, you know I can't let wives interfere with official matters. You've only wasted her time and mine.
But, sir, she indicated there were extenuating circumstances.
There always are. Now, unless you have something else.
No, sir, that was all. Washington, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Your hat, sir?
Oh, thank you. Sean, since when do I rate a reception committee?
Well, it's going to be a real fight, Ira. Thought I'd better find out what kind of shape you're in.
I'm ready for them.
I'm sure you are ready to crack heads.
That was years ago. I've mellowed with age.
You'll never change, Ira. You were born with a short fuse.
General McCrary, I said I'm ready for them.
Oh, you see what I mean? If I can touch a nerve here, what's going to happen in that conference room?
I came here to state my views.
Your views can be stated by someone else. You don't have to present yourself personally. Maybe you can check in at a hotel, stand by for some questions.
I'm tired of waiting. I have convictions, and I want to put them on the table where everybody can look at them.
You've hurt yourself before, Ira.
Sean, if I'm going to get hurt, I want to be sure that I'm personally responsible. Now, I'm ready. Now.
All right, Ira. Well, it's almost dawn. What do you say we have a little breakfast?
Oh, Rice. Is that my briefcase?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, then where's yours?
Excuse me, General McCrary, sir.
Well, Lieutenant, how does it feel to have a general as an aide?
He's new on the job, but he's learning.
I'll see you have both sides, facts and figures. Mayor, it's up to you. Good luck, Ira.
Thank you, sir. Well, Lieutenant, shall we attack? I may need you to sit in on some of it and take notes. Stay close.
I'll stand by, sir.
Wonder how much longer we're gonna be.
I don't know.
Hey, Lieutenant, join the club. I'm Barnhart, Admiral's aide.
Rice, General Stone's aide.
Alden.
Air Force, huh?
Yeah. What happened to Everest?
Oh, he's on sick leave. I replaced him past few days.
Oh, just a few days ago. Decided whether you like it or not?
Well, I've decided all right.
Listen, we've all got teeth marks. That's part of the game. It's worth it, though, to work with a man like Stone. Imagine he's a little bit edgier than usual right now, huh? I'd be edgy, too, if I were in his shoes.
Hey, what do you guys mean by that?
Stone happens to be taking on this whole place single-handed. Your boss is putting his career on the line today. They want him to stand by to take over a division in case there's trouble, and he's balking at doing it on their terms. Stone's convinced a division can't handle the trouble except under a different system of command and control. We happen to think your man is a giant, mister. When he's sure he's right, he bets all his chips. You know, if he'd have played it safe instead of gutty, he'd have a second star by now.
How's it going, sir?
How's it going? Well, all I know right now is I'll either make it or I won't. Guess I won't know till we get back to Pendleton.
May I say something, sir?
Shoot.
Well, I'd like to say I didn't know until a while ago just how much you've had in your mind these past few days.
Oh, and now you know, huh?
Well, sir, I know enough to want to say good luck to you.
Rice, what were the first rules you heard for rising to general?
Well, sir, never volunteer and never stick your neck out.
Forget them both. You know, during World War II, Rice, we used to say that this was the only room in Washington where everyone knew what they were doing. Shall we go in?
Ever read Detectives, Rice?
Well, no, sir. I've been through a few westerns, though.
Give me a good, straight-shooting gumshoe anytime.
Oh, sir, we picked up a headwind. We'll be about 20 minutes late getting to Great Lakes.
Where are you from, Rice?
Clary, Indiana, sir.
Never heard of it.
It's a nice little town, about 30,000. We flew just north of it a while ago.
I was a country boy myself.
Yes, sir, they say country boys make the best infantrymen. I guess it's all the hunting you do, getting used to the feel of the land and all.
Yeah, I used to hunt a lot. Fish, too. Did you ever do any fishing?
Some. Now, you take my father. There is a real fisherman.
Yeah, bring home the limit every time, huh?
Not every time, sir. He'd get skunked once in a while. That's the difference between us, I guess. I mean, it didn't bother him getting skunked. But me? If I didn't come home with something, I'd be mad at myself for a whole week.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, he used to claim it didn't matter whether I caught anything or not. If I used the best bait, fished the best holes, did everything the best I could, well, the rest was strictly up to the fish. He always used to tell me to quit worrying if I'd done everything my best.
Your father was an intelligent man, Rice. Oh, call me when we land at Great Lakes, will you?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm going to take a nap. And let the fish do the worrying.
Excuse me, sir. We touch down at Great Lakes in 10 minutes. Sir? Excuse me. We touch down at Great Lakes in 10 minutes.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Sir?
Oh, yeah.
We touch down at Great Lakes in 10 minutes, sir.
Boy, it's the best sleep I've had in a month.
Coffee, sir?
Oh, Rice, you still have that letter on you?
Mrs. Wade's? Yes, sir, I do.
No. Just happen to be carrying it with you, huh? Rice, I don't like my moods analyzed and taken advantage of by my aides.
Well, I wasn't playing on your mood, sir. You brought the matter up yourself. You see, after reading the letter, with Mrs. Wade's permission, of course, I was of the opinion the circumstances were extenuating and, well, maybe Colonel Wade was possibly too proud to mention them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you may find out someday, Rice, that a commander can't often afford the luxury of being kind. Sometimes not even that of being fair. Well, there's one other luxury a commander cannot afford. That of being wrong. Add another stop to his itinerary. The Marine base at 29 Palms.
Yes, sir.
Now, the next stop, I'll call Washington about getting Colonel Wade back. You call ahead and have him meet me when I land at 29 Palms with his bags packed and ready to go back with us.
Very well, sir.
Carry on. You had a Washington flight, I hear.
Yes, sir.
Excellent opportunity for you. You'll find the general's quite a man.
Yes, sir, he's very interesting.
I hear he's involved in something big, Caribbean or Southeast Asia. Nobody seems to know which.
Well, I haven't heard anything, sir. Honest, sir, it's news to me.
Either way, that's the proper answer. Well, I've enjoyed working with you, Rice. Don't forget Bravo Company.
Captain Rambridge, the general made it clear this was only temporary.
Well, I wouldn't count on that if I were you. Everest never quite completed his platoon requirements. The word I get is that he'll probably replace you here.
You heard that officially, sir?
From the Chief of Staff, Colonel Highland. That's pretty official, isn't it?
Right. I agree. All right, we'll schedule that for tomorrow. Yep.
I'd like to speak to the colonel on a personal basis, if I may, sir.
What's on your mind, Rice?
Sir, I just heard about Lieutenant Everest's orders.
Are you questioning General Stone's decision to keep you here?
No, sir, I'm not. I was wondering if it was the colonel's recommendation.
The answer to that question is yes.
Sir, I was expecting to return to my platoon.
Why the sudden interest in your platoon?
There's nothing sudden about it, sir.
But you said that, didn't you say to my daughter that your greatest ambition was to remain with the general?
She told you that?
Well, that was the impression that I got.
Well, I think the colonel's been misled, sir. I told her just exactly the opposite.
You calling my daughter a liar?
I know I'm not lying, sir.
Why should she lie for you, a man she had to say no to in no uncertain terms?
Because she, as I said once before, sir, that's a personal matter. But on the professional subject of my telling her I wanted this job or not, I think the colonel's been misled.
That will be just about enough, mister.
No, sir, there's more. Now, there happens to be a lot of things I like about your daughter, sir. She's bright, she's intelligent, she has a good sense of humor. But she's also a spoiled service brat who uses her father's rank like a club. And on this platoon matter, sir, she's using me because I won't jump when she says so.
Mister, I'm a little older than you. Depending on the answers I get from my daughter, you and I might have to... Tell the general I'll be in my quarters.
Colonel Highland's office, Lieutenant Rice speaking.
Rice, I've been trying to locate you. Have you got your Washington notes handy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Was it the 3.5 or the 4.5 plan I specified? I've got the Pentagon on another line.
Just a second, sir. It was the 4.5, sir.
It's a disputed point now. Are you absolutely sure?
Sir, I'm positive, even without my notes.
Good. That's what I need to back me up.
Sir, would it be convenient for me to drop by this afternoon?
No, not right now. This evening's better.
Okay, sir. Oh, and sir, Colonel Highland said he'd be in his quarters for a while if you needed him. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Come in.
Good evening, sir.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Something on your mind?
Yes, sir, there has been for quite some time.
Well, let's see now. You think you're the world's worst aide. You feel like a fish out of water, and you want relief from the job. That just about covers it.
Yes, sir, that just about covers it. Not that it hasn't been a great experience, but you see, with the possibility of my platoon being...
Well, I see no great problem in you going back to your platoon, Lieutenant. Would you like an hors d'oeuvre?
Yes, sir, fine. Thank you, sir. Well, I'd like to say, sir, that I can't thank the General enough. And I hope I'm not leaving you without an aide.
No, I'm having Everest back in. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
I have to admit that I was beginning to think of you as a good luck charm.
Who, me, sir?
Well, somebody brought me luck. I got word this morning that the president has nominated me for 2 stars.
Well, I think that's wonderful, sir. Congratulations.
And just to clear off a debt, thanks for having the consummate gall and telling a general he was wrong. You may have saved Colonel Wade's career. He owes you for that, and so do I. Well, get on back to that platoon of yours, Lieutenant. I haven't got time to sit around shooting the bull with XAs all night.
Sir, I know we don't normally do this indoors and uncovered, but good luck to you.
Thank you.
I've got orders from Dad. I'm supposed to apologize. So I'm apologizing.
Okay, I accept.
Oh, I am sorry, Bill. And I guess I'm kind of in shock, too. He spanked me.
Nan, I'd like to add some advice to that. You're selling yourself short. Stop wearing your father's eagles. You don't need them, believe me.
I'll call you. I mean, maybe you'll call me sometime? Huh?
I'll call you.